The Google Pixel 6 turned out to be one of the most popular Pixel phones of all time, with fans loving its design, photography experience, and clean software, and it easily leapt onto our list of the best smartphones that we think you can buy right now. But one issue was that it was quite an expensive phone, and that's something that the Google Pixel 6a hopes to resolve. It's a new budget alternative to the flagship model, with a lower price and some corners cut to keep that cost down. So if you're in the market for a new Android phone, you might be interested in buying one of these Pixels, but which one should you go for? In this video, we'll run through their specs side by side so you can make an informed decision. On paper, the Google Pixel 6a would seem like the cheaper phone of the two, costing $449. However, bear in mind that the older phone has been around for 9 months and has seen some price cuts in that time. In fact, in certain regions, the Pixel 6 has actually gone lower in price than the 6a. So hunt around for the best deal if you're buying a new Pixel phone, as whichever of these is cheaper will no doubt influence your opinion on it quite a bit. There's really not too much to say about the phone's designs. From a distance, it would even be difficult to tell the difference between the two. The Pixel 6 family is united in its appearance, with a horizontal camera visor breaking up the back of the device. The 6a's camera bar protrudes less, but that's really the theme of this phone. It's just a bit smaller than the 6. The Pixel 6a also has a plastic back, unlike the glass of the 6, so it feels a little cheaper in the hand, but will likely withstand more of a beating. Neither phone has a 3.5mm audio jack, and both use USB-C standard for charging and data transfer. A point for the Pixel 6a's favour is that it uses a more advanced version of the Pixel 6's in-screen fingerprint scanner, so it's noticeably quicker and more reliable to unlock. The Google Pixel 6 has a bigger display than its counterpart, with a 6.4-inch panel obviously being larger compared to the Pixel 6a's 6.1-inch one. Beyond your opinion of big versus small screens, the Pixel 6 has the superior display. They both have the same resolution of 1080 by 2400, but the 90Hz refresh rate on the Pixel 6 is a big upgrade over the 60Hz on the 6a. It's also worth noting that the Pixel 6 has some advanced display tech that supports HDR10+, if you care about that sort of thing. Both phone displays are broken up with a punch hole cutout for the front-facing camera at the center top of the panel. The Pixel 6a and Pixel 6 have 2 cameras in common and one that's different. The first similarity is the selfie camera, with both boasting an 8-megapixel f2.0 snapper that worked just fine in our testing. The second is the 12-megapixel f2.2 ultra-wide camera with a 114-degree field of view. The main difference here is the main camera. While the Pixel 6 gets a high-res 50-megapixel f1.9 main camera, the 6a is stuck with the same 12.2-megapixel f1.7 unit that Google has put in its smartphones for a few years now. This isn't quite the huge downgrade that the numbers might suggest. It's still good for taking pictures in settings with a decent amount of light, but they just won't be as high resolution as those taken on the Pixel 6. The phones have more in common than they don't, especially when you factor in the software. Google is big on its AI, especially when it comes to scene optimization. And with these same algorithms optimizing pictures on both the Pixel 6 and Pixel 6a, the results won't be worlds apart. The 6a gets a lot of camera features too, most notably the Magic Eraser, which lets you pick out unwanted background elements in photos and have them scrubbed using the AI. All 3 members of the Google Pixel 6 family have the exact same chipset. That's the Tensor chip, developed by Google itself. And this trio of handsets marks its debut in consumer-ready phones. In terms of performance power, it's returned upper to mid-range results in our benchmarking tests, but its real strong suit is the range of AI smarts that it facilitates. And lots of these are in the camera department. When it comes to gaming, AI, and intensive processes, the Google Pixel 6a will feel almost exactly the same as the Pixel 6, so you can't really use this as a way to decide which model to buy. That said, the standard Pixel 6 has the edge when it comes to RAM, as you'll get 8GB in this, while you'll only get 6GB in the Pixel 6a. They're both 5G phones, so your connectivity should be equal regardless which model you pick up. But one spec that you can use to differentiate the two is storage. While both phones get a 128GB option, only the Pixel 6 comes with an option to get 256GB. Behold, another area where the Google Pixel 6a and 6 are completely equal is software. Both phones run stock Android 12. Google makes Android, and the Pixel phones are often considered the epitome of the Android experience, with all the key features present and accounted for. A big one is Material U, which lets you tweak a lot of the design elements of the software depending on your wallpaper. Unfortunately, the two Pixel phones don't have enough in common when it comes to the battery. On paper, it would seem that the Pixel 6's 4614 mAh battery and the Pixel 6a's 4410 mAh one would be quite similar when you bear in mind the display and size differences. But in our experience, we found that the Pixel 6's battery was just fine, while the Pixel 6a's was disappointing, rarely lasting a whole day of use. The charging speed is another key difference. It's only 18 watts on the Pixel 6a, which means you'll need nearly 2 hours to power the unit fully. That's compared to the 30-watt charging on the Pixel 6, which gets you 80% after just an hour of charging. And this handset also gets 21-watt wireless charging and wireless power sharing too. In some areas, these phones are identical. You're getting the same software, the same chipset, and the same camera software, making the user experience similar in quite a few ways. The Pixel 6a does step ahead in a few ways, with a more responsive fingerprint scanner and smaller body that might appeal to some users. However, in quite a few areas, the Pixel 6 is just the better phone, with its higher res main camera, higher storage options, faster charging, longer lasting battery, and higher screen refresh rate. When you consider that the Pixel 6 can often be bought cheaper than the 6a, it just seems like the better buy for most people. Let me know down in the comments below which phone you'll be picking up, or if you'll just be hanging on for a few months and grabbing yourself a Google Pixel 7 when it launches later this year. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe to TechRadar here on YouTube so you don't miss any of our future phone reviews or news.